Okay, well, it's 9 o'clock, so we'll give this special meeting of the Commissioners Court will come to order here in Mount Pleasant, Texas on October the 27th at 9 a.m. If you'll all rise for the pledge and invocation.
Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, I just come to you thanking you, Lord, for all you do for us. Lord, I just thank you for the folks that have come out this morning. Just ask you just to help our meeting to go smooth this morning. Just give us the wisdom that we need to do what needs to be done for Titus County and the Mount Pleasant area. Lord, I just ask you just to be with those that have lost loved ones this week, be with those that are sick, and just watch over and take care of each and every one of us. Go with us now and forgive us what we fail. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Number one, public comments and requests for information on non-agenda items in accordance with Section 551.042 the Texas Open Meetings Act. Don't have anyone who wants to speak. Go on to number two. Consider and possibly approve the minutes from the October 14th, 2025 regular meeting of the Commissioners Court.
I just want to, before we approve that, on the last commissioner meeting, I did not vote on an issue that they said it was unanimous. It wasn't unanimous. I didn't vote. I sustained.
Didn't vote either way.
Either way, yeah.
So we're not changing the vote, we're just making the statement, right? Because we can't change the vote from a previous board. We're just making the statement that you did not vote.
He did not vote. I didn't
did
hear
not
it,
vote.
so we can change that up. I can go one by one. So yes, he just wants it on the record that he just abstained. Did not vote yes, did not vote no.
Motion to pass minutes.
Got a motion made by Commissioner Applewhite to approve the minutes.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Parchman. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? That carries unanimously. Number three, swearing in of the new officer, Mr. Norman Lay, in Precinct 2 for Constable Ray Barrett. I've got his paperwork here. Move it over here.
First off, if I can, I'm just going to introduce Norman. This is Norman Lay, this is his wife, Bless, and their three children there. Norman's a captain with the fire department and all that full-time. He's also been a reserve officer for quite some time. He's been with the Rice Police Department, reserve. He recently moved here to Titus County, so he's transferred his reserve officer status to Titus County with the Constable's office. I think he's going to be a good addition to us.
Welcome aboard. I got a little bit of hope for you. Your little girl wants to stand up there so she'll make sure that picture's good. You got your own camera. I'm just going to let you repeat after me. You'll raise your right hand. In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas.
In the name of the authority of the state of Texas.
I, Norman Lay, do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
execute the duties of the office
execute the duties of the office
of Reserve Deputy Constable
of Reserve Deputy Constable
of the state of Texas,
of the state of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability preserve,
and with the best of my ability to preserve,
protect,
protect,
and defend
and defend
the constitutional laws of the United States.
the constitutional law of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Thanks for coming aboard. Appreciate it.
Number 4, presentation of the check by Titus County as a receipt of property project award by Net RMA, the Northeast Texas Regional Mobile Authority. We've got Glenn and Gary and a bunch of them here today. First of all, Nate Prefert's here. Nate was on the board when they got this grant approved for us, and got off the board and is on a different board. And then we appointed Hudson O's. Hudson, I want to appreciate you and for all your hard work that you did to find this money that we didn't know anything about, and to bring it back up. And then Monica, for your hard work with the presentation that I came down with. So it takes a village around here, and I want to be recognized. And like I said, it's $320,000 less the $5 wire fee. Is that correct, Dana?
Sorry about that.
That's all right. Is that correct? Okay.
So, thank you, Judge and Commissioners. I appreciate the relationship that we have, y'all being part of the Net RMA. With me today also, in addition to Hudson, our current member, and Nate, our past member, I have our Chairman of the Board, Gary Halbrooks, and our Director of Engineering, Deanne Simmons. And on behalf of the Net RMA, I'm sorry, Miss Colby, and Colleen Colby, our Director of Marketing. So on behalf of the Net RMA, I'm happy to present the $320,000 check as a portion to the FM for the construction of the FM 1735 project, and we're able to maybe offset a little bit of the county's cost. So thank you.
If y'all all come up, we'd like to get a picture with all y'all. Come on, Commissioner. Let's get out here.
Do you have this? I don't.
That's it, you gotta know somebody pretty good at that on my desk.
He's got a good cameraman when we cross it. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you, Judge.
Hey, how you doing, brother? Thank y'all.
I'm sort of short. I can't fix it. Yeah. He's gonna make me taller in the picture.
Okay.
I'd like to say something. There's a commissioner that would never bring this qualified to himself, but back when this was approved, it was a transportation project, and Jimmy Parker is the one that made the motion that we get Riley to complete the paperwork so that those funds were actually possible. So I think we need to kind of give Jimmy a hand for seeing the foresight. Most commissioners never get to see something go full circle because their terms end. And he's been here, and I just like to thank you for making that motion to start with. For this $320,000 would have never been possible.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Jimmy. Like I said, it is a good day for, anytime you can receive $320,000 for the county, it's a good day for Titus County. Jimmy, we appreciate your hard work on that before. And like I said, I knew nothing about this grant money that was sitting there, that all we had to do was make our presentation with that and the bills. And thanks to Hudson, we had that, and appreciate you getting back on that board. So thank you, Hudson. Number 5, consider and possibly approve the receipt of the priority project award from Net RMA for $320,000 less the $5 wire fee, and we received this on October the 2nd, 2025. Jim, would you like to make the motion?
I would. I'll make the motion that we accept this.
Got a motion made by Commissioner Parker to accept the money.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Applewhite. All those in favor? All those opposed? Carries unanimously. Number 6, consider and possibly approve the 2026 Titus County Resolution for Indigent Care Defense Program. This is a grant that we've always done with the indigent care, and this is just time to renew it again for the net RMA, not the net RMA, the Texas Indigent Defense Fund.
I make a motion to approve.
Got a motion made by Commissioner Mitchell to approve the Indigent Defense Grant Program.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Parker. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed. Number 7, consider and possibly approve the Titus County Commissioners Court tax roll approval, tax rate levy. And this is from Melissa Stevens. Enclosed is the tax roll approval for the tax levy resolution to be approved. By using this resolution, each unit is in compliance with Section 2609 of the Property Tax Code. This resolution shows taxable value, the adopted tax rate applied, and the calculated tax levy. Please put this on your agenda, which we have, and if we have any questions, we can talk with Melissa about that. I don't think we have any questions on that. That's where the tax rate would be the 3.442 on maintenance and operations for the tax rate of 0.0419 for interest and sink funds that were adopted for the tax year of 2025 by the Commissioners Court here.
Make a motion, we approve it.
Got a motion made by Commissioner Parker to approve the tax levy.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Mitchell. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Carries unanimously. Number 8, consider and possibly approve the resolution for financing assistance from the State Infrastructure Bank, authorizing the county judge to act on behalf of the county in all matters relating to the application. All of y'all have gotten a copy of this that we met with SIB, and I hope y'all have all had a chance to go through it this weekend. I'd like to read a couple of letters. We've got a couple of speakers that want to speak. I'm going to let them speak, and then I'm going to read these letters. We've got Mr. Darrell Estes that used to work with the weigh station here in Titus County. If you'd like to come up, Mr. Estes, and speak.
Good morning. My name is Darrell Estes. I'm the former CVE sergeant here in Mount Pleasant. Came here in September 2004. The sergeant before me was working on a plan to bring in some pits, put pits in out at the scales where we could more than double our operation daily. We didn't have a lot of personnel back then. I would have 1 to 2 troopers that would work out there, but we had a lot of truck traffic. Today you get a lot more truck traffic. The state has a lot more personnel to work than I had. This has always been a dream of mine. When I came here, like I say, the sergeant before me had been working on that. And he retired and he told me about it, and I said, man, that'd be great. I'd love to see that come in. It's a win-win situation. I mean, the state got very little of the fine money, and let me say that it's not about fines completely. Of course, you know, when the truckers violate the law, then they need to be fined, and we did our job out there and wrote tickets. And the scale, as I understand it, was built in 1994, and I think the scales that were out there in ground were paid for in about 3 months by the money that was raised. And I know that some people probably sitting in here saying, well, y'all are about revenue. That's not true. What we did was we did our jobs. We were well trained, excuse me, in operating the scale out there, detecting violations of the law, mostly equipment violations. And that's what we did. I was told some time ago that y'all are looking at expanding it out there, and man, that made my day, because I worked hard to try to get those pits in, and we got the money from the good people of the county here in Titus County. But the state at the time was in a money crunch and couldn't do their part as far as expanding the highway out there, the area where we would inspect the trucks and everything, and the lighting that we needed out there, and so it came to a standstill. Before anything else could be done, I had some health problems and I had to retire. But it's always been my dream to see this come to fruition. And with the help of the county, as I understand it now, it's on the brink of being done. There's the people that are here, Lieutenant Crooks and Sergeant Schaufman, and they are hard-working individuals. Their troops work hard. They have more. I don't know how many inspectors there are now, but I've been out there and visited before since I've been retired, and there's been quite a few people out there to work. So by doing this, you're going to increase the revenue, I don't know how many times over, but it'll be a bunch. And to me, it's a win-win situation. The trucking traffic is so much more severe than it was. To use the word severe, more heavy is what I mean. And there's a lot of violations, I'm sure, that's still out there that's going on. And with this expansion done, they can address those situations. And like I say, I believe it's a win-win situation. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Estes. Sergeant Crook.
Well, good morning. I'm just going to touch up and follow up a little bit on what Darrell talked about. If y'all were able to make this happen, we have additional people in place to start working out there as well. So what it does right now, currently, we have 3 civilian inspectors that are there every day, all day. So what we'll do is add 2 more. That'll be a total of 5. And anytime that the inspectors are out there, we have to have a trooper there with them. So you're going to have a total of 6 troopers or inspectors daily working. So just wanted to make sure that there's going to be a lot of employees to be out there to be operating this thing and working. Ultimately, our goal is never going to be about revenue. Ours isn't. Our goal is about maintaining safety on the traffic on the highways of the state of Texas. Now, obviously, there's a byproduct of that, penalty-wise. That's where, we're county. Well, let me back up. So I think, if I remember right, in '94, these were built, the scales that are out there. And if I'm correct, I thought it was 6 months that the whole operation was paid for from revenue that were brought in from penalties and so forth. So in 31 years, Titus County has basically reaped the benefit of the scale houses being out there, correct? So I don't know. Again, that's never going to be our job, is to be concerned with the revenue. That will be y'all's job. So, but what I'm getting to is that we're going to have state-of-the-art equipment. It will be license plate readers, registration readers, weigh-in motion. It will be everything, height at everything under the sun that we can put out there to make this thing happen. And it will be manned, at a minimum 50 hours a week, at a minimum starting out, with the possibility of even more. So I just wanted to speak, say, man, appreciate y'all's time, and if we can get your support on it, that'd be fantastic. One other thing, just thinking out loud, at super scales, and I know 2 of you have seen them, but when these trucks come in, like for instance, there's going to be good trucks and good 18-wheelers that we're never going to look at. So once it comes in and it meets all the criteria, it'll have a bypass lane that just straight sends good trucks, and it basically reduces infraction on commerce. So trucks can just keep rolling just right down the line and never even see us. So
A lot smoother keeping the traffic moving is what you're saying.
absolutely, yeah, keeping commerce moving.
Right.
So Appreciate y'all's support. If you need any questions, I'm happy to answer.
I got a question for you. What
Yes, sir.
happened, like, you guys have been down at the border a lot this last couple of years.
Yes, sir.
Let's say this goes through, who's going to take y'all's place here to run this when y'all are down there?
Civilians will never leave. Civilians or jobbers out there at that scale house daily. So
You'll
again,
have troopers.
I will have to have, we have to, it's mandated. I have to have a trooper out there with them. So again, there will always be, if this goes through, 6 employees out there doing inspections on a daily.
And those employees aren't our employees, those are...
That is correct.
paid by
We are
y'all.
responsible for their insurance, we're responsible for their gas, their units, their insurance, it's basically a free employee for Titus County.
Any other questions for Daniel? Daniel took me and Jody down there to look at Seguin, and I want to stress today all we're doing is voting to whether we can see what our rate would be as far as borrowing the money for SIB. This is not a vote yes or no. This is a vote for knowledge today to get more information so that we can make a good decision on whether we need to do this or not. Ms. Applewhite and me renegotiated our CDs over there, and they're drawing 4%. As you saw in y'all's packet here, it's got a little bit below 3.4, but that's not a guaranteed rate. Today, all this would do is there's no charges for it, there's no application fees, there's no anything from SIB to do this, but they do have to have the information so that they can lock in a rate. And that's what the vote is today. And I've got a lot more that I want to say about it, but I do want to emphasize this is not whether we're going forward with the weigh station. This is making the decision to find out from SIB, which is a state bank, to let us know what an interest rate would be so that we could tell what the figure are. With these figures that we've got there in page 9, 10, 12, somewhere around there, that just gives us an estimated made. And with that estimated amount of taxes, it costs about $58,000 a month to run that weigh station. And with Seguin, where we went down there and saw, they were writing about 200 tickets a week. With that, if it's at $58,000, or it could be lower, could be a little bit more, depending on what this rate comes back at. But with them down there writing 200 tickets, all we would need to do is write 50 tickets a week to survive, to pay that bill. 50 tickets if they were at the bottom at 300. 300 tickets, $300 tickets at 200 would give us $60,000 a month. If the average of the ticket went from 300 to 500, then we're looking at $102,000 a month, which that's $1.2 million a year on income that would be brought in from that to pay for that weigh station. So Daniel's met with us, met with TxDOT. Their numbers are saying 150 trucks an hour out there. With that being said, Monday night at midnight, I went out there and counted 56 trucks in 15 minutes. So that's 224 an hour. And then Thursday at 7 o'clock in the morning, I went out there and there was 111 trucks in 15 minutes. So that's 400 trucks an hour. So with that being said, on the state numbers that Katie and them will be coming and talk to us, we can have workshops and all that. With them saying at 150, which all the 3 days that I've been out there and just random days picked in times to go, with 150 trucks an hour, that's 3,600 trucks a day. And you multiply that times 30, that's going to give you 108,000 trucks going by that weigh station. If 1%, just 1% of those are dirty trucks, then that gets us to 1,000-something trucks. With that information, like I said, I beg y'all to go down to Seguin and look at that operation that Daniel took us down there to. It's smooth through there. They were writing 200 tickets. I guess that's a southbound lane. I don't know east and west down there. Eastbound lane. They're finna switch over to the other side and build them another. Go down there and talk to the JP there. See their courthouse that they've built there just for those weigh tickets and stuff, and get the information. We've also talked with Congressman Moran about trying to get these guys a little more leeway at the weigh station as far as illegals, non-registered drivers. God forbid us having an accident like they've had in Florida the last couple of times, running over people and killing them. But there's lots of things to be said about it. that can be good things for Titus County. The thing that I like about it, yes, it's a lot of money. $9 million is a lot of money. But at the end of the day, if we save one life, if we take one sex trafficking off of the road, one human drug trafficking, what have we done then? And I've got family and stuff that go up and down that road every day. One wheel comes off, as Daniel was talking about there in Seguin. They've got a deal that the truck's run over. They don't tell you if the truck tire's got flat. They tell you if it's got a low tire. With one tire coming off and killing one of your loved one, that's a lot. Don't worry about the money. Let's saving lives and getting those kind of things off of there. The letters that I have here today to read are from Chuck Bailey, our DA, and also from 2 county judges. What we have to realize is not just in Titus County, but it helps Franklin County, it helps Hopkins County, it helps Hunt County, it helps Dallas. If you've been to Dallas lately, TxDOT's not here today, but when we have those meetings with TxDOT, you can ask them. They're widening it. It's not going to be 2 lanes, it's going to be 6 lanes from all the way from Dallas to Texas County. So our traffic's only going to go up for those numbers. But like I said, I've got 3 letters here and I'd like to read those. The first one is from Chuck Bailey, our district attorney across the street, and wrote it out to me, and y'all have all got a copy of it, but I'll read it out loud for those that are watching. Dear Judge Cooper, I'm writing to pledge contribute criminal forfeiture funds seized by law enforcement officers in efforts to propose weigh station to help support this development operation. In addition to enforcing commercial vehicle weight regulations, preserving our road infrastructure, such facility would assist in detection and interdiction of drug trafficking, weapon smuggling, and human trafficking. If you have any questions, please contact Mr. Bailey. The next one is from Franklin County's judge, Mr. Scott Lee, which worked alongside Daniel and them in the y'all call it CVS, right? Commercial vehicle. Yeah, in the CVS department. And this comes from him. And this is not something that's just come up in the last 2 months. I want everybody to understand that. When I first come into office, a little over 3 years ago, TxDOT come up to my office, and Rebecca Wells, which she's passed away since, and anyway, she walked up to my office, and Cole Hefner had called me and said, Judge, he said, do y'all not want the weigh station? I said, Cole, I don't know what you're talking about. And so he sent Katie and Rebecca Wells up to my office, and they came up there and they said that the price was going to be around $7 to $8 million. And I said, well, that's fine, Rebecca. I said, how much money does the state going to put into this? I don't want to just be all by ourselves. And she said, well, Judge, they don't have any money at this time. And I said, well, if the state's not on board for any of it, then I don't feel that Titus County ought to be the brunt of the whole thing. So fast forward another, I guess that's been 3 months ago, 4 months ago, she come walking up the stairs with her bright smile and said she had good news and bad news. I said, well, let's start with the bad news. And she said, well, the bad news is up to $9 million on y'all's part. And I said, that's some bad news for sure. And then she grinned and she said, well, we've got the federal government on for $15 million now. So, and DPS is a little over $2 million. So we're looking at a $20-something million project, a little over $20 million. Once they put in all their equipment, that's not counting the paying of their officers and all. So that's when this started moving forward and deciding whether this was something for us. So it's not just a overnight deal. And this is kind of reflected in Scott Lee's letter here. Judge Cooper, several years ago, before you had become Titus County Judge, I was notified that Titus County was not interested in keeping the weigh station in Titus County. I worked hard with state officials to build a weigh station in Franklin County. I was not successful. When you became the county judge, I told you it would be crazy to give it up. As you know, I'm a commercial vehicle enforcement trooper with DPS, was stationed in Mount Pleasant and was there before the buildings and scales in the ground. We worked very hard to get scales in the ground and buildings at the current location. Until my retirement, we worked many years enforcing numerous laws. At the time, there were numerous weight violations that slowly diminished over time, but also enforced the federal motor carrier safety regulations that include all federal laws regulating commercial vehicles. To this day, they still write numerous citations in state and federal laws that consist of equipment violations, CDL laws, documentation violations, drug and alcohol violations, seatbelt laws, and many, many more. You're very blessed to have the weigh station, inspection station in your county. The opportunity to better the location with the state-of-the-art equipment, more manpower, paid by the state of Texas, more space to work, etc. Back when we thought we had a shot, myself and the commissioners were ready to move forward to have it in Franklin County. We contacted a similar station on I-10 and talked with the local justice of the peace. The county was bringing in about $1 million a year in fines to their county. I myself know that many citizens were wrote when I retired 13 years ago, and Titus County has been blessed to have this in your county. The next one's from A.J. Mason, and he's the judge over in Camp County. Dear Titus County Judge Ken Cooper, I'm writing this letter to express my support for commercial motor vehicle weight station in Titus County. This facility will be, above all, increase safety on Texas highways. The movement of goods through Texas by commercial motor vehicles is vital and will continue to grow. Any effort to provide for a safer highway system is a benefit to Texans. Beyond safety, there is many benefits that Texas weigh stations provide. Only a few are protecting infrastructure, increasing road life expansion by detecting overload trucks and enforcement load limits, supporting legal and regulatory compliance by enforcement of federal and state law ensures commercial motor vehicles comply with Department of Transportation regulations, including hours of service and vehicle conditions. A state-of-the-art facility will allow for more efficiency and productivity to move and freight in Texas. Weigh-in-motion technology allows trucks to be weighed in real time without stopping, reducing delays and improving traffic flow, while still achieving enforcement efforts towards safety. It is important to point out that the benefit of a weigh station in Titus County will extend well beyond our region. Due to interstate commerce, the enhanced safety will extend to many states away and in some cases across the United States. Titus County is uniquely positioned geographically to have a broad-reaching positive impact on safety, highway travel, and I offer my full support. With that being said, Judge Lee was 100% wanting the weigh station. What they've got in Mount Vernon now is just a truck parking for hourly parking if they're over hours. If you'd like to talk to Scott Lee, I wouldn't want to talk to that on the record, on the things that go on out there in that weigh station. The problem that you have with just a station there, just truck parking, is you have no police officers there, no duties from there, all kinds of waste put out there in the parking lots, all kinds of illegal activity going on in those spots. They're getting one of those over in Bowie County now as we speak, and of course Scott and them have theirs in Franklin County. So those are the three comments, and I'll answer any questions that anyone might have.
Yeah, I do have a question. Y'all were mentioning how that we will possibly have more people arrested or tickets made. I know that the JP court will be affected by the tickets, but it will trickle down to my court and the district clerk's office also. With the criminal deputies that we have, are we going to be able to afford to get more employees, either part-time or possibly full-time employees, once it does start coming in, if this was voted into happen?
That would definitely be a possibility. But the thing that we've got to think about is when I come into office, our taxpayers ask me how to not go up on our taxes. If we don't have more revenue coming in, which we've voted to help Illuminas out in Winfield come in and bring about $60 million, which that brings about $1 million to the county. This year brings about $1 million, $1.2 million to the county. Once we've got our debts paid for, then there's lots of different possibilities with that.
I just wanted to confirm because I do only have no criminal. That's just my concern in my office also.
Understand. But when we can make money often not our Titus County residents, and them having to pay more property tax to have employees. It's a benefit to me, I believe, to do it that way. This will be, yes, it's going to get some Titus County money because there is some local truck drivers and stuff here, but mainly this is coming from out of our county and bringing in revenue from outside the county.
How much are we bringing in now from the county?
The last report that we had out there was 12 tickets is all they had last year.
And half of that goes to the highway department?
Not half, it's 70-30.
Oh.
But with a super waste,
50%, when I did quarterly reports, I said 50% back to them. It's 50%.
depending on which tickets that we go on. And we'll talk with TxDOT more about that. Like I said, when we went to the weigh station down there, their weigh station's nothing like ours. It's got all the state-of-the-art. They're in Seguin, they're doing 200 tickets a day, not a day, excuse me, 200 tickets a week, and they report those tickets back. They take those to the JP weekly, and sometimes they have to do it twice. Like I said, I believe it increases ours. If we've got 108,000 trucks coming by there, if we've got a better system, we've got all the technology and all the equipment, I think we're in a lot better shape to write those tickets as well.
This might be a good thing, it might be a bad thing, I don't know. But at the end of the day, my opinion is on this, that $9 million is a lot of money to be gambling with. I mean, it might be good in the long run, but I think it's something that we need to have the taxpayers have a vote or say in on this, my opinion.
Once again, this is not a vote today whether we are putting in the weigh station. Today is a vote to see, for us to get information so we know exactly what it would be expense-wise. It's not a yes, it's not a no. This is a vote for the Sims to decide what our interest rate would be, how much our payment would be, and so that we've got the knowledge to decide whether we want to do it or not do it. I think it's, in my opinion, I think it's crazy not to get them. It doesn't cost us anything to get them to do the loan process. There's no fees there. There's no early termination of that. There's nothing for them just doing and getting us a frozen total so that we know what that tax rate would be. Not the tax rate, but what the interest rate would be on the weigh station.
Have we got with Hilltop Financials about this?
Once again, all that we're doing today is asking for this bank to decide what kind of interest rate they could give us on $9 million. It's not a vote for the weigh station or against the weigh station. This is a vote today to try to decide what the interest rate would be, to decide whether it would be a good decision for us. If we wanted to talk to Hilltop after we got that rate, these numbers that we've got in this package that I gave y'all, they're just fantasy numbers until we give them the information and they get a set rate. That's why I would like to vote on that today.
One thing I'd like to say is us have some workshops if and when we do this. I'd like to see us have some workshops where all of us can sit down and be on the same page.
100%. Like I said, this is, if we don't have this information, we can do all the workshops we want, but we don't know how much it's going to cost, how much our interest rate will be, don't have any of that. I'd love for us to have workshop after workshop, meet with TxDOT, meet with the major. We've had 2 phone calls with a major in Austin, the DPS office, on what they would do. I'd love that. That's not a problem at all. But I do feel that without this, there's no need in having any workshops because you don't know what the true number is.
Officer Crooks, y'all are going to run 2 shifts on this new weigh station?
If everything works out and everything is good to go, then it probably would eventually get to that level.
Okay.
But, as of in the beginning, of course, that's got to be set by legislature. That's not something that we can, we can request it. And
That's
then
what the major said.
So.
And that is what they're looking, he says there's no guarantee, but that's what they're looking to do, is put another sergeant in this area.
They're doing another one in Seguin. So.
Right.
I make a motion to see what the financial is going to cost us to support this.
Okay. Got a motion made by Commissioner Mitchell to approve the county going out and getting a bid on what it would be for financing of the weigh station. I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
No.
3 ayes? All 3 of y'all are against it?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Number 9, consider and possibly approve the 2026 Titus County holidays.
Make a motion to approve them.
Got a motion made to approve the holidays by Commissioner Parchman.
Second.
Second by, who's the second by? By Commissioner Applewhite. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Carries unanimously. Number 10, consider and possibly approve 2026 Titus County Commissioner Court dates. These will all be on Monday except for May the 26th, and then also on October the 13th. Those will be on Tuesdays that week, following holidays.
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion made to approve those by Commissioner Parker.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Parchman. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Carries unanimously. Number 11, approve oral and written reports of the county officials.
Make that motion.
Got a motion made by Commissioner Applewhite to approve the reports of the county officials.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Parchman. All those in favor?
Aye.
Guess we're going to have to start different. I can't hear everybody. Commissioner 1, how you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner 2, how you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner 3, how
Aye.
Commissioner 4. Unanimously. Number 13, approve the budget amendments. Ms. Nanette?
We have 2 budget amendments. Budget Amendment 2026-1. These are budget amendments that are done to make the budget in line with what the anticipated interest was of the county at the time that we did the proposed budget. There was a correction to the payroll and the court coordinator. There was a retirement adjustment in the extension office. There was an adjustment to the law enforcement insurance. All of these are line item transfers. A cell phone increase for the sheriff's office. And there was an other expense for the sheriff's office for the vinyl striping. It was not able to be completed in the prior year, and it was decided that it was already started, that it had to be completed in the current year. And then there was the transfer out that was approved in court at the last court for Precinct 3. And then there was also a transfer to the maintenance barn for $50,000. The maintenance barn used to be a revenue-driven source, and it was normally billed out. If you guys remembered, they would bill for their services and do invoicing. A few years back, that changed to where each of the precincts pay a set amount, the sheriff pays a set amount, and the county funds a set amount. The issue that we're having with the maintenance barn is their cash flow is lowering, and the cash flow needs to be enough to cover the budget for the year. And so that transfer was in order for the cash flow to be raised. I did speak to Judge Cooper about that a few weeks ago, about the issue with the cash flow and the maintenance barn, and that's why that is in there. And then all of that is adjusted through the contingency fund. The second budget amendment that I have is for Fund 85 to receive the 50 and for the Precinct 3 to receive that transfer. Any questions?
Make a motion to approve the amendments.
Got a motion made by Commissioner Parchman to approve the amendments.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Applewhite. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Carries unanimously.
We missed number 9, let me see. We missed the treasurer's report. I apologize. sure. Yeah, number 12, list number 12.
Okay. Number 12, consider and possibly accept the treasurer report as a matter of record.
Make that motion.
Got a motion made by Commissioner Parchman,
Second.
second by Commissioner Parker. All those in favor? All those opposed? Carries unanimously. Number 14, sign the pay orders and approve the payments.
Make a motion, pay our bill.
Got a motion made by Commissioner Parker to approve the pay orders.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Parchman. All those in favor? All those opposed? Carries unanimously. Number 15, closing arguments.
I want to thank all the precincts for helping me last week on a chip seal we done. It looked real good, and we got it before the weather got in, and I want to thank everybody, and I want to thank DPS for coming, and I know there's maybe a way, but I appreciate y'all coming. Appreciate y'all's service.
I need to tell Jimmy a happy anniversary. He's been married 51 years. Poor Barbara, how do they say that, or poor Jimmy? Well, congratulations on y'all's 51 years.
Thank you.
With that being said, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Got a motion made by Commissioner Mitchell to adjourn.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Parchman. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Carries unanimous. We will, at 9:46.